Hello, welcome to the BudgetEase Broadcast. I'm Kathy Dise. I'm a QuickBooks expert, and I use QuickBooks as a tool to help my clients grow their business. Today we're going to talk about what is a messy balance sheet and profit and loss. I came across one this week, and I want to share it with you, what I saw, so that you can make sure that your financial information is presentable to someone you're going to sell your business to your banker, to an investor at any given time. So let me tell you more about this messy financial information. First of all, a quick update on what is a chart of accounts. So there are 5 parts of a chart of accounts, 3 parts of a balance sheet, and 2 parts in the profit and loss. So that makes 5 together in your chart of accounts. The balance sheet is made up of your assets, and your assets equal your liabilities and equities added together. And then the second part of the chart of accounts is your financial information, the income statement, which has your revenue and your expenses. So what do we see on the balance sheet? We see a lot of negative numbers when you have messy financial information. So go and pull yours out and see what you're seeing. You might have a negative balance in a checking account. You might have accounts on there on your balance sheet that don't exist anymore. You closed that bank account, so you paid off that loan. You might have a loan with a negative balance. Well, it's unlikely that you overpaid your loan balance, that your lender owes you money. It's unlikely that you have overdrawn your bank account. So we have to go back and figure out what happened in those situations to clean it up. Sometimes too, these errors in your balance sheet happened years ago, which makes it even more challenging to try to make sure that the information on your balance sheet accurately reflects what happened to your business. So let's move on to the profit and loss. What I saw on this messy chart of accounts was 17 revenue accounts. Well, there's no need to have 17 revenue accounts. What this business owner didn't know was that there are other ways to keep track of what he's selling when it comes to individual services or products, and it doesn't need to be on your profit and loss. And so as a result, he put all 17 down as different accounts. And so when someone like myself or a banker or an investor look at this, they see something very messy, and it kind of represents your entire business. So then you move to the cost of goods sold, which is one type of expenses. These are your direct costs. He had 4 or 5 of them. They really didn't make any sense. And then he had expenses. Some of them were duplicates. It was clear that the expenses weren't something that was happening consistently, and possibly there were too many. So what do we do in situations like this? When I see something like this, it reminds me of a garden. So with a garden, it can go out of control. You might have planted things in the wrong place by accident. You might have let some other things overgrow, and you just didn't keep things in good shape. You didn't know what you were doing to start, and as it went on, things got worse and worse. Just like this garden that's gotten out of shape, it's probably in your best interest to scrap it and put in a brand new garden, to pull it all up. And that's what I recommended to this individual for his QuickBooks account. That the cost for me to go back and to clean each account up is so much more than it would be as if I just started a new chart of account for him. So if you find yourself in the same situation, it's fairly easy to start a new chart of accounts. You can figure out exactly probably pick the first day of your fiscal year what the balances are on your balance sheet. You know, how much do you have in each one of your bank accounts? How much do you owe people? What is your fixed assets? We can get that from your tax return. And then set up a new profit and loss statement with just 1 or 2 revenue accounts and cost of goods sold and your expenses. So I hope you found this information helpful, and thanks so much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you at the next broadcast.